Nismo, the performance division of Nissan, combining innovation with a daring spirit. Nismo is legendary, from the iconic GTRs to the underrated monsters like the Juke R in the whatever this is. They've built some of the boldest, craziest cars to ever wear a Nissan badge. These aren't just faster versions, they're sharper, more focused, and packed with attitude. Today, we're ranking every Nismo model ever made on a tier list, from the well-known to the underrated to the forgotten. We've got a let's cover, so let's jump right in. So here are the ground rules for the tier list. These Nismos have to be sold to a consumer market, no homologation specials or track variants. Also, I'm not really going in any particular order here. Number 1, the 2004 to 2008 Nissan 350Z Nismo. Only about 1,600 of these things were built, and they're extremely sought after today. With this sports car, Nissan took a risk and it paid off. It ended up becoming one of the most iconic Nismos, and for good reason. The 350Z Nismo made 306 horsepower and had a stiffer suspension, upgraded brakes, and a reinforced chassis. It handled tighter than the standard 350Z, with the sharper turn-in and better stability at speed. It wasn't the fastest on paper, but it felt solid and focused on back roads. Also, the styling on this car is just perfect. The extended front bumper, side skirts, rear diffuser, and that big rear wing gave it a serious track-ready look without going completely overboard. It stood out from the base 350Z in all the right ways. Today, they're really hard to find. If you do somehow find one, they're super expensive and usually hogged by collectors, but it makes sense given only 1,600 of these things were made and sold. Overall, this car is perfect. Now, I wouldn't prefer it over the regular 350Z, but the Nismo is iconic and it still holds up today with other smaller sports cars, reminiscent of a time when Nissan actually cared. S tier. Number 2, the Nissan Juke Nismo. Now moving on to a car that's a little bit controversial. It's a smaller SUV that doesn't even feel like a Nissan. The front end looks like a frog, the interior is horrible, and the shape of the car makes no sense. Probably one of the reasons it flopped, but somehow it's still cool in its own way. People hate on this car all the time, but unless it's the Cybertruck, BMW XM, or any other electric car, you shouldn't really hate on ugly vehicles. Sure, they look weird, and yeah, you'd probably get made fun of for driving one, but these are the quirky ones, the ones that you actually remember. The Juke checks every box. Quirky, fun, and different. The Nissan Juke Nismo came with a turbocharged 1.6-liter engine, making 197 horsepower, and featured sharper steering and firmer suspension than the regular Juke. It was more planted in corners and felt sportier to drive. While it wasn't a powerhouse, it had character, and that made it worth caring about. This is the kind of car we need today, and luckily, Nissan followed it up with the new 2025 Kicks, which is cheap and surprisingly reliable. I gotta hand it to you, Nissan. You're actually doing something right for once. Overall, the Juke Nismo is cool as hell, and I definitely own one. I'm just a fan of weird but cool cars, especially one rocking a literal Nismo badge. A tier. Number 3, the 2009 to 2020 370Z Nismo. Now we're onto the 370Z Nismo, which ran all the way from 2009 all the way to 2020. That's over a decade of sticking to a formula that worked. Raw, old school, and rear-wheel drive fun. The 370Z Nismo came with a 3.7-liter V6 with upgraded suspension, bigger brakes, and tighter handling. Inside, the Recaro seats and red accents made it feel a bit more serious, though yeah, the interior aged quick, but honestly, that's part of the charm. No touchscreens, no gimmicks, just a proper driver's car. These were still manual, still naturally aspirated, and still felt like Nissan cared. The 370Z Nismo might not be flashy to the average person, but to car guys, it was a sign that Nissan still cared. A solid S tier. Number 4, the 2017 and 2019 Nissan Sentra NISMO. The Nissan Sentra is an amazing car, reliable, cheap, and easy to own, and Nissan stepped in and made a performance variant of it. I'm all for creating performance versions of everyday cars, like the GR Yaris or GR Camry. It's like having a sports car with the real-world reliability of an economy car. This is probably the future of sports cars for now. Unfortunately, the Nissan Sentra NISMO is long gone, and that sucks. The Nissan Sentra NISMO packed a turbocharged 1.6-liter engine with 188 horsepower, offering mild performance boosts but falling short of true hot hatch territory. Overall, it's okay. Even though it's a compact sedan, it stays true to Nismo's roots. A tier. Number 5. The 2014 to present GTR R35 NISMO. The Nissan GTR Nismo represents the peak of Nissan's engineering and performance. It's powered by a twin turbocharged V6 that produces around 600 horsepower, paired with an advanced all-wheel drive system and a suspension setup designed for precision. This combination delivers strong acceleration, excellent grip, and sharp handling, making it both capable on the track and on the street. When it first arrived, the GTR Nismo took the supercar market by storm, offering performance comparable to much more expensive cars, but at a more reasonable price point. Overall, it gained reputation as a legend in the automotive world. That said, I find it a bit overrated today. Many people treat it like it's flawless or the ultimate car, but I prefer simpler, more straightforward cars that don't rely on complex technology or flashy features. I'm not a big fan of supercars in general. I value raw driving feel and mechanical simplicity over outright speed. Still, the GTR Nismo is a well-engineered, serious performance car with a strong legacy. It's not my personal choice, but I respect what it is and what it stands for. S tier. Number 6. The 2005 to 2008 Frontier NISMO. The Nissan Frontier NISMO is a performance-focused version of Nissan's mid-sized pickup with upgraded suspension, sport-tuned shocks, and unique styling. It didn't boost horsepower significantly, but the handling improvements made it feel more capable and agile, especially off-road. Not a sports truck, but a solid step up for anyone wanting a tougher, more engaging Frontier. B tier. Overall, I hope later on Nissan revisits this idea to create a more performance-focused truck, because their current ones could use a modern Nismo trim. Number 7. The 2013 to present Nissan Micra NISMO. The Nissan Micra is sold everywhere except the US, a compact hatchback that somehow got a Nismo variant. I really like how sharp this thing looks, the trim gives it a sportier edge, and while the interior isn't anything special, it still manages to stand out. The Nissan Micra NISMO packs a peppy turbocharged engine with sharp handling, making it a surprisingly fun and nimble city car. We definitely need something like this in the US. Not really just the Nismo, but a proper hot hatch that's fun to drive, affordable, simple, and reliable. Sadly, with the size and popularity of modern SUVs, that's unlikely anytime soon. Overall, this car is solid, but not quite in the top tier. B tier. Number 8. The Nissan Ariya NISMO. Oh no. The Ariya NISMO is a huge missed opportunity for me. First, let's talk about its styling. Revealed in 2020, it's a massive EV SUV, and the styling isn't too bad. Every electric car tends to have that futuristic or marketing-driven look that doesn't always age well, but the Ariya manages to look cool at first glance. However, once you get past the surface, things start to fall apart. It's extremely tech-heavy, and heavy overall, which just adds to how boring and numb it feels to drive. On top of that, it's extremely overpriced, way too expensive for what it offers. The performance doesn't live up to what you expect from a Nismo badge. It's neither sporty nor engaging. It feels like, unless as a performance model, it doesn't really deserve the Nismo name. C tier. Number 9. The 2023 to present Nissan Z Nismo. The Nissan Z Nismo had a lot of hype behind it, and on the surface, it seemed like a return to form for Nissan's performance division. It looks the part, aggressive, sharp arrow and Nismo badging, and all the little styling touches that set it apart from the base Z. It's sleek, low, and purposeful, with a clear nod of past Z cars, while still feeling modern and fresh. Under the hood, it's got more power than the regular Z, sharper suspension, and chassis tweaks that made it more capable on paper. But the issue isn't with the numbers or even the capability, it's in the overall feel. Something about this car just seems filtered. The added tech and refinement take away from all the raw and direct connection that the older Nismo cars had. It's quick, but it doesn't feel alive. It's capable, but it doesn't feel like it's fighting for your attention or asking you to push harder. Then, there's the price. The Z Nismo is just too expensive for what it offers. You're not getting a proper sports car experience. You're getting something that feels more like a refined GT car that wants to be a track machine, but without the personality. This could have been the modern equivalent to the 350Z Nismo, lightweight, fun, and focused, but instead, it leans too much into comfort and technology. The soul isn't quite there, and that's a problem when we're talking about a Nismo. It's not a bad car by any means, but it doesn't carry the Nismo spirit the way it should. C tier. Number 10. The 2010 to present Patrol NISMO. The Nissan Patrol NISMO is a high-performance SUV built mainly for the Middle East and is just overkill. It's too big, heavy, and fast in a straight line, but it doesn't really feel like a proper Nismo product. Cool for what it is, but nothing special. C tier. Number 11. The 2023 to present Skyline NISMO. The 2023 to present Skyline NISMO is honestly one of the coolest recent NISMO models. It blends aggressive styling, solid performance, and daily drivability in a way that just works. It's a real shame it's not sold in the US, because if I lived in Japan, this would 100% be my daily driver. Comfortable, fast, and low-key cool. Nissan really nailed this one. A tier. So here's my final tier list. Overall, Nismo has always been the special side of Nissan that takes things a bit further, sharper handling, better looks, and just a little more soul. Sure, some of these cars were hits, others were kinda misses, but at least Nissan tried. Nismo represents the perfect middle ground between fun and functional, and we need more of that today. Luckily, other brands are catching on too. Hyundai's N-Line and Toyota's GR line are proof that the spirit of performance isn't gone, just evolving. What do you think? Do you agree with my rankings, or do you think something should have been changed or added? I'm curious to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and remember people, drive safe, drive smart, but most importantly, drive something worth talking about. See you in the next one.